So good morning, hello everyone, and welcome to our Friday meditation and teaching. Today's Thursday, tomorrow. So I'm already thinking ahead a little bit. So the theme for this week has been the Buddha's teachings on right effort. And there's 4 of them, and today's the topic is cultivating, maintaining, growing wholesome states. I'll talk more about that during the talk. But for this meditation, I want to point to a very important wholesome state, wholesome way of being, that maybe is the foundation for the growth, the development, the allowance of other wholesome states. And that is being unwavering, an unwavering way of being in this world in meditation. So to be unwavering in our application of ourselves, our doing, unwavering in our thoughts, unwavering in our mind and heart. So in the body, maybe that's experienced as a kind of stability, to feel stable here. In the mind, maybe it's steadiness, to hold the course, hold the mind steady on something. And maybe in the heart, I don't know what the quality of unwaveringness is of the heart. Maybe it's kind of a devotion, or maybe it's a kind of a feeling, an attitude of yes to being present, to being here, regardless. And this idea of being unwavering as being an important mental quality, the foundation, kind of gives us a sense that cultivating wholesome qualities of mind, it doesn't have to be like all these wonderful things like love or goodwill, compassion, which are maybe kind of very important, but maybe sometimes even a little bit forced or maybe not so accessible. But if we can cultivate stability, steadiness, unwaveringness, then that is the ground from which the other wholesomes can grow. To be wavering, to be unsteady, unstable, that's the ground from which the unwholesome, the unhelpful states of mind grow. So for this meditation, we can focus on being unwavering, being steady and stable. And when your mind wanders off in thought, don't just come back to your breathing. Come back or reestablish a stability of the body, a steadiness of the mind, and kind of a settledness of the heart, settledness in the heart that is yes to being present. Stable, steady, settled, unwavering. So assuming a posture for meditation that allows you to feel stable in your body. It might be a posture that's a little bit more intentional, a little bit more engaged and active than a posture that you're prioritizing being comfortable. It's important to be comfortable up to a point, but it can be overdone with the loss of kind of bringing the body into an alert stability that supports a kind of kind of energy that of being present. Gently closing your eyes and breathing deeply, relaxing the body as you exhale, with the idea that the exhale is moving to a stability of the body, where the weight of your body settles into the seat or the place where your weight is supported by the chair or the bed or wherever you are, the floor. Letting breathing return to normal. And then as you breathe a normal breath, is there some way that you can steady your mind? Kind of like you would if you were going to do a very precise movement, like threading a needle. Steady the mind, letting go of thoughts, relaxing the tension of the mind, settling whatever way the mind is agitated in favor of where the mind is steady, stable. And then as you breathe, maybe on the exhale, to settle your heart. Almost like your heart happily responds to the pull of gravity, to relax and settle and quieting the agitation of heart. And if you find yourself wandering off in thought or very much caught up in thought, you might go through these 3 steps on your way back to breathing. Find some stability in the body, some steadiness in the mind, and some settledness in the heart. And with that, begin again with your breathing, with an unwavering attention to the next in-breath, to the next exhale. One breath at a time. Chances are, if you're wondering a lot in your thinking, the mind has some agitation in it. It's wavering and unsteady. Relax deeply as a way of steadying the mind. Stabilize yourself here in the present moment with your body. in the next couple of minutes before the closing, gently, with a gentle way, can you be a bit more stable, settled in your body? So the body is more present, more aware of its embodied nature. And gently steadying the mind, the attention, maybe on itself, underneath your concerns and preoccupations, agitations, settling into a deeper layer in the mind where it's stable, quiet, settled, appreciating just being aware, being conscious. And settling the heart as if you feel reassured, safe, as if for this next few moments everything is good, all is good. The heart can rest. For a few minutes be content. And from this unwavering stance of stability, steadiness, subtleness, from deep within you, what wholesome quality seems to want to emerge? What goodness, what sweetness? What is it that wants to appear and flow? That's something that's enjoyable or appreciable. To be stable, steady, settled, makes it possible to be more sensitive, aware of the world around us, to be with others and let their being register for us, feel a connection that doesn't require words. In the presence of people that we care for, when we're settled, love might want to emerge, or kindness, goodwill, delight. Settling back, and then ending this meditation with extending our goodwill out into the world. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be peaceful. May all beings be free. And may it be that in our stability, subtleness, steadiness, unwavering ability to be present, that we contribute to the welfare and happiness of everyone. Thank you. So hello everyone. Welcome to this fourth talk on the 4 right efforts. And today's emphasis is on the fourth being a focus on wholesome states of mind, or skillful, helpful states or qualities. And this is actually a very important part of the the Buddha's teaching, that at least for me was not really appreciated very much in a few decades of being a Buddhist and practicing. I think maybe a good number of people, I had somehow become tuned into prioritizing the teachings on letting go. And sometimes it was indiscriminate letting go. It was just, it's very powerful sometimes, especially in meditation, to let go of everything, even the wholesome. Because sooner or later, everything needs to be let go of, no holding even to the wholesome. But it's possible to overdo it and not then support the growth, the cultivation, even the presence of beneficial states of mind, beneficial states of heart. And that as we allow them to be there, not just let go of them or ignore them, that we can actually promote or make it possible for them to grow. And it's possible to become filled with well-being, filled with really good qualities. I was kind of really amazed and stunned when I started doing long meditation, lots of meditation, to discover how thoroughly saturated the whole body and being can be in particular wholesome states of being. Joy and happiness, tranquility. The one that surprised me, I think the most, was the equanimity. The equanimity was such a clear, full, embodied kind of way. It wasn't just some like little policy in the mind to be equanimous. It was a way of being. And so this idea that the wholesome is supposed to be so in this 4 right efforts, the first right effort is to prevent the arising of unarisen, unwholesome states. So states that are not really healthy for you to have, thoughts, feelings, attitudes, motivations. If they're not there, and they're not operating, they're a common part of your life, then within reason, maybe make the behavioral changes and other changes that would kind of prevent them from arising, these unhealthy ways of being. The second right effort is, if the unwholesome states of mind have come up, abandon them. So this is the letting go part. And how to abandon them healthfully is important, but these 4 right efforts, you're always using them as a kind of a perspective and analysis of what we're actually doing. So if we're letting go, is the letting go itself done in a wholesome way? or is it unwholesome? If letting go is being done with aversion, with conceit, with greed for something better, if it's then it's not so wholesome, and it kind of will backfire in some way. But if we're looking for how to do this in a wholesome way, it's a game changer. It's a very different way of being with it. And then there's not so much self involved or conceit or greed. That kind of comes, we begin to learn how there's a whole other source within that is the source of how to do things in wholesome ways, including this letting go. One of the things to discover is that letting go is one of the things that our heart wants to do if all the conditions are right. It's not like we have to let go, but we have to enable the letting go that's already there, that wants to happen. So kind of the third right effort is to evoke, to bring about, to recognize wholesome states that haven't arisen yet. So bring them about. And that also might involve behavioral changes. To stay close to things that inspire you, bring you gladness and happiness and steadiness, and do the things that help you be more settled in your life or stable in your life. And rushing around is not helpful. Doing things in a steady, stable manner is much more helpful. And then the fourth is, this is a dramatic, so it kind of goes comparable to the second right effort, to abandon the unwholesome states that have risen. Now it's to maintain the wholesome states that have arisen. So things that are good going on, maintain them. And again, this can be done with behavioral ways. If you feel really happy and good and just feel like this is unusually settled and peaceful, maybe it's not the time to get lost on the web or in the news, or start doing something that it's going to just get you really angry. Just kind of, maybe there's a way of maintaining it, keeping it going, being careful not to lose it easily, to sacrifice it for, some petty irritation that you want to complain about. And so, however, what I want to emphasize today is that this cultivating and maintaining the wholesome, it gets actually much more emphasized by the Buddha. Because rather than simply one word of what we do, prevent, abandon, evoke, for the fourth right effort, there's a whole series of words. So you get a sense of kind of the emphasis, the importance, like maybe we're supposed to spend, more time on the wholesome. So this is how it goes. Practitioners take up and take hold of their minds, take hold of themselves, and generate desire, endeavor, and initiate courageous effort. Here we go. For the maintenance, the non-forgetting, the frequent cultivation, the abundance, the development, and the fulfillment of wholesome mental qualities, states, characteristics that have arisen. Wow, man, that's quite a mouthful. Once something good has arisen in you, be careful. Don't lose it easily because you get caught up in your desires and your conceits and your, agendas and your fears and your, rushing around and doing a lot. Take time for that. And then, are there ways to maintain it? Keep it going. Not with, again, it has to be done in a wholesome way. Not with expectation, not with demand, not with measuring your success and failure, your self-worth by their presence, not in a way that you would be distraught if it's not there and feel like somehow you're a bad person. There's a wholesome way, a free way, a generous way, a relaxed way to be with all these things that, is kind of has a sense of freedom in it itself. And with that, to maintain it, to be conscious and aware and choiceful about what we do so that affects our state of mind. For the non-forgetting, I love this one. Don't forget it. Don't overlook it. Don't lose touch with it. It's so easy to lose touch and forget the healthy way of being in the world, being attentive, being here in a full way. The frequent cultivation, abundance, development, and fulfillment. So this idea of abundance of good qualities, the fulfillment of them, so can't get any better. I mean, this is dramatic language. I think to me it's inspiring language. It could seem exhausting, like there's a lot to do, but it's not meant to be the kind of doing that is exhausting. It's a kind of a doing which is fun, which is nice, which is relaxing, which the doing itself feels good. And that's the art of this whole meditation and mindfulness. How do we do anything in a wholesome, healthy, beneficial way? And that's the art that we want to discover and find. That's the key to a Buddhist practice. Buddhist practice involves practice, but how do we do the practice in this wholesome way, nourishing way, inspiring way? We're inspired by it. It feels good. We like doing it. It's not automatic we discover how to do it. But that's what we're working towards. And then overcoming the strong urges in the mind, from fear, from desires, from duty, obligation, to override the healthy way of doing things, to do things in ways which are not wholesome, that are rushed, that lead to maybe something as simple as becoming unstable and unsteady and tight and focused, losing touch, forgetting about this wholesome way of being. Because this idea of wholesomeness, wholesome states of being that we maintain, can lift the bar kind of high if we rush to the idea that it has to be love and peace and these dramatic kind of spiritual feelings. The foundational one that I think that we want to remember to always come back to and start with is the wholesome sense of being stable here in the moment, a physical embodied stability. When when unwholesomeness takes over, it shifts and changes the physical body and how we live in the world and how we are not so settled. But when we're wholesome, the wholesomeness arises out of this settled body, stable, a settled mind, a steady mind, and a settled heart. So if that's the first step in evoking the wholesome and maintaining the wholesome, maybe that's not so bad. Maybe that isn't so far out of reach. Maybe it's only, 10% more stable, 10% more steady. But without 10%, maybe we don't make as many mistakes. We don't live as stressfully as we do other times. And that steadiness and stability, the sense of living a life which is unwavering, is the soil in which the wholesome has a chance to emerge. And probably the more stable and steady and settled we are, the more the wholesomeness, the appearance, the arising of it, does it by itself. We don't have to do it. We just have to recognize it, allow it, not forget it, support it to grow, not be embarrassed or ashamed or kind of afraid of it. Don't be afraid of the goodness that's in you. Let it grow and let it become abundant. So the wholesome, maintaining, growing, developing the wholesome within us. So for this day's homework, why don't you, through the day, whenever you can remember, maybe set a timer, at least do it once an hour or something. See if you can emphasize a little bit more coming into a place of stability, steadiness, settledness, some place where we kind of feel this, and then when you're going to do something, to do it kind of in an unwavering way from this place. and see if other wholesome qualities have a chance to follow in the wake. It's almost like that stability opens the door. And that open door, what wholesome things wants to come from you? And maybe make a catalog of what wants to come. It's you might be surprised what's in there that wants to come out. So thank you very much. And for tomorrow, there'll be kind of a concluding talk on these 4 right efforts.